Hey everyone, Lenny Pena here in Garberville, California. It's another beautiful sunny day. It's late afternoon, early evening, and I wanted to share another quick shrimp dish with you inspired by the beautiful, fresh Italian basil in the garden. Those of you who know me from the Queen of the Girl Geeks channel know how much I love basil. As a matter of fact, I have my basil tomato bruschetta candle burning, the one that I made by myself in Pennsylvania. and I love the smell of it when I'm cooking. So this is going to be a simple dish with just not a lot of ingredients. There's basil, cherry tomatoes, garlic, and polenta. And so I want to mention about this Bob's Red Hill polenta. This is the right coarseness, the right smoothness for me when it turns out. I've had a hard time finding it. I had a hard time finding it when I was in Pennsylvania. So when I was down at my sister's in Atlanta, each time I went down there, they had it at their grocery store, so I bought it. So the last time I was there, I knew I wasn't coming back to Atlanta for a while. I bought 5 bags of this. This is now my 4th bag. So the polenta has traveled from Atlanta to Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and cross country with me. And I happen to have seen it here locally, which is really great. And now I don't have to worry about that. I also got some fresh raw shrimp today. The last video I did, I couldn't find it here in Garberville. There's a town nearby, Redway, that had a grocery store that had the fresh raw shrimp. So I'm really excited about that. I already put the water on. I'm going to get it boiling to get the polenta started first. And then we'll pick up with the shrimp. Okay, the water is boiling. And I'm going to stir in 1 cup of polenta in 3 cups of water that's already salted with a whisk. And I do it slowly so it doesn't clump. And by the way, when I said Bob's Red Hill, it's Bob's Red Mill polenta. I just want to make sure I'm clear. Bob's Red Mill polenta I'm using here. Get it stirred in. Good, so no lumpiness. Then the next thing you do is you have to turn it down to simmer right away. Okay. I'm going to give you a view in a little bit, but the one thing about polenta is you have to keep kind of stirring it very frequently. And unfortunately, with the camera going back and forth, I could mess it up. And so I'm starting this way. And in a moment, I'm going to show you when it's starting to bubble. Those of you that have made it kind of already know. And then I'll be adding, at some point, some butter and some half and half. There's that beautiful yellow color polenta. And I'm going to stir. It's boiling. It's very quickly. It just thickens and thickens really quickly. I don't cook this a long time. You know, some people cook polenta a long time or longer. I don't. It doesn't take that long, really. It's a 5-minute thing. So I'm going to let that. See, there it is. It's going to bubble. I'm going to put the camera back on the holder so that I can finish this here. Okay, I'm going to cut a hunk of butter. I'm going to say about 3/4 of an inch. Plop that in. And some half and half. Yes, I always have at least either 2 quarts or a half gallon of half and half around. I use a lot of it. So I'm just going to put a little, I don't know. It's hard to tell, what I use. Less than 1/4 of a cup. It's just a little bit. And I'm going to stir it in. And it changes the color. It lightens it up even a little bit more. Softens and lightens it up. It almost has that creamed corn look in terms of color. Okay. And I'm going to microplane some Romano cheese in it today. Not too much, just a little bit to add a little salt, little flavor. With shrimp, I will tell you that I won't judge you if you do, but I know from the chefs at Chez Panisse where I worked, they did not want to put any cheese on seafood. That's, for them, a real faux pas. I let you do whatever you like in your taste preference. I won't be putting any cheese on top of the shrimp, but I thought I would put some in the polenta just to add. It also has that, with garlic, tomato, and basil, that little bit of Romano cheese just really adds to the Italian flavors of the dish. I'll give you a view of this now. As you can see, it lightened up a little bit, and you can see the texture. Look at that creamy texture, very smooth. This is the way I like to have polenta. So I'm just going to put the lid on this, and then we're going to start working on the shrimp. So I already peeled and deveined the shrimp. It was in the refrigerator. I'm now going to add some seasoning, some ground salt and some cracked pepper. And I'm going to put a little of the light olive oil. Everything's Italian. Light olive oil marinade. And I'm going to just stir that in. So while I get the other ingredients in the pan started, I'm letting the shrimp marinate a little bit in this. So I turned the gas fully off on the polenta. I didn't want it to get burnt. So it's perfectly done, and it is going to just sit and rest now. And now I'm going to cut cherry tomatoes in half. And I figure I bought a half pound of shrimp, so it turned out to be 10 shrimp. So I'm going to do at least 10 tomatoes, which have two halves then, so it's like 20. That's kind of the proportion, but if you like tomatoes more or less, I might put a dozen. I like a little extra tomatoes because that gives it a little bit of extra sauciness for the polenta. How many? I'm not counting now. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 2 more. I either have one less or one more. I don't know. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is put some salt, pepper. This time I'm going to put some extra virgin olive oil for these to sit in and cook in when they get into the pan. The shrimp I put lighter because that's going to sit on top, but I want the deeper flavor for the tomatoes. And I'm going to put a splash of red wine vinegar just to give them a little brightness on their own. All right. And stir those up. Don't they look juicy and yummy? I'm going to start with the pan, heating it. I'm going to pour a little bit of this oil from the tomatoes in there. And I'm going to crush some garlic. And I realize now, because I was talking to you before, that I forgot to put garlic. I wanted them to be garlic shrimp. So I'm putting some garlic in the marinade so they get their own tossing with the garlic. It smells so good. So that's going quick. So I'm going to turn the flame down a little bit now. Ooh, that was quick. Where's my scotch? Oh, it's perfect. Got just that little bit of golden color on the garlic. Now it's time to put the tomatoes in. I'm not going to cook these long. I want them to get softer, but I don't want them to break down like a sauce. I'm going to turn this down to medium now. Okay, while they're cooking now, I'm going to start tearing the basil. I want it in pieces. I don't want it like cut and chiffonade. I just like broken up, torn basil. And I want them to be almost like the size of the tomato in a sense. I want their presence to be there. And when you eat it, I want you to have, a nice little leaf of basil. I think that's probably good. I think I'm going to do a little bit more for now. And I also don't want to cook the basil too long. I just want it to get a little soft. So you're going to see how fast this goes. There it is. Look at that deliciousness. Tomato basil. Love that combination with garlic. So it's not going to be too long. Let me see if I can. I want them to break down a little bit more, but not too much. I decided to put a lid on top so that they'll both steam a little while they're sauteing. Get them softer, keep the basil greener because it's not going to be as just sauteed. It'll get a little steamed as well. You can see they're just starting to break down. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit because I'm getting ready for the shrimp. I'm going to move these aside on the sides so I can throw the shrimp in the middle, spreading the shrimp. And once the shrimp starts cooking on both sides, then I'm going to toss it all together. Doesn't that look, ooh, that looks so delicious. There you go, see? How quick shrimp, I love it. I hate looking through the camera lens to do this though. Pan sliding, so I'm going to put this down for a second so I can do it right. Starting to turn orange on both sides. Now I'm stirring it all together. And I don't like to cook shrimp too long. I really just like it barely cooked. But I'm going to quickly throw in some fresh basil. All right. I'm going to turn off the gas, plate the polenta, and pour this over top. Okay, I already put polenta in the bowl. Now I'm going to start dropping this around the edges. More of the tomato around the edges, a little bit of the shrimp in the middle, and then around. Okay, I'm going to pile the shrimp a little bit more in the middle. Oh, my goodness. There we go. I'll show you from the top. I don't want it to break it all up. This is the garlic shrimp with cherry tomatoes and basil. Now it's the taste test. I can hardly wait. Oh, they're nice and tender. This is the shrimp I wanted. So I'm going to try to get a little of the tomato on with a little polenta, some of the basil, and a shrimp bite. This is so good. the silky, creamy polenta underneath. The non-rubbery, just perfectly cooked shrimp where you bite into it and I guess it's like lobster. No, it's like shrimp. And then the cherry tomatoes, they're still kind of whole, but broken down. And the basil. Now, I'm really happy with this dish tonight. But before I let you go, I want to show you what I'm going to do with the polenta because it's going to lead into my next video. So I put all of the rest of the polenta in this glass bowl. Sometimes I put it in a glass loaf pan. It depends what I might be thinking. But this is already leading me to think about my next dish. I often make extra polenta so that after I make a dish like this with the shrimp, tomorrow I'm going to make fried polenta with sautéed mushrooms with thyme, eggs over easy, and shavings of Parmesan. It's going to be another delicious dish. So using polenta again in a different way. So I want to thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.